Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today I'm officially starting the truck camper build out, planning, and getting a few items in place. So we had mentioned in our truck camper tour that we have an issue with this fridge. Works perfectly fine, it's great, but we do not have enough space right here. We have about 4 inches, and we want to do a 10-inch mattress, so that would sit up here, and we would not be able to open that. So I want to get this thing measured so I can find a replacement fridge to go in this place, because we still want as big of a fridge as we can get, but obviously I need that space to clear the mattress. 10 inches is right there. We're going to want a little bit of clearance and stuff. So we either want like 11 or 12 inches. Let's go to 12. Mark that with my finger, and let's see what we're working with. So from our mark, we have about, let's say, 28.5 inches or so up. And then width-wise, we have about, let's say probably, it's 23.5, but let's say 24 because of the frame. And speaking of problems, this is just one of many that we're going to run into on this renovation. So let me take you outside and show you the next problem. And to show you the next big thing that I need to get working on, I need to go up the ladder. So as you can see, we have this solar panel and one in the front, but these things are a little beat. They're coming loose from the top, pretty rusted out on the screws right there. So I need to get these replaced. So that's the next project. And I wanted to take you in and show you right now, there's actually a Renogy charge controller here, solar charge controller, and we really don't like it. It's kind of bad. So this is going to be replaced when we replace our whole system. But I want to test out the BougeRV panel that I have outside. I'm going to show you that here in a second. Make sure it works, kind of bench test it. Since we're not officially ready, because I actually need to install the whole electrical systems, which I'm pretty excited about that, before I can actually mount the panel, and then I got to get a second panel. But in the meantime, I want to bench test it, make sure the panel works. And this is the panel that our friends at BougeRV sent out. This is the Arch Pro. It's a 200-watt panel, and this is supposedly the best technology on the market right now. And this panel is a flexible panel, so it's similar to what we currently have up on the roof, but obviously much better. But I want to make sure this works by plugging it into our power station. I'll get the power station set up here, and we'll see how well it does. So I got my power station set up. This is the Oskil PowerMax 1800. So the solar input is perfectly fine for this panel and all the ratings and stuff. So I'm going to plug this in. And let's see, and I'll also angle it a little bit because it's the middle of winter and obviously the sun's pretty low. But let's see what kind of input we get from this. I'm really looking forward to this setup right here, even for the meantime, because this is kind of a perfect pair with this power station. And what's really nice is I already have the adapter because my power station included it. So I can get these panels plugged in real easy. Literally 3 plugs, that's it. So we got negative to negative, positive to positive, and then here's the connection for the power station. Turn the power station on. See, I'm at 45%. We got a pretty big glare right now, so there we go, 45%. So you can see it. Now let's get this plugged in. A little hard with one hand, but I got it plugged in. Now let's check the input. Hard for you to see probably, but I'm getting 113, 114 watts in. That's pretty good. So this is laying flat. And like I said, it's the middle of winter. Sun's very low. So let me change the angle because we're bouncing between 113 and 114 input. And let's see what we get. So right now it looks like it's taking in about 102 watts. Now let me see if I can adjust the panel a little bit. You see that number? We're getting 178, 180, 176. That is dang impressive. And I'm just holding it almost straight up. That's pretty crazy. So you just saw that, getting 180 watts into a 200 watt panel in the middle of winter just by changing the angle, getting a little correct with the sun. And like I said, I actually had it kind of vertical. I wish I could have had it on camera, but if you watch our videos, you know we're waiting for our Pocket 3 lens to get repaired. So I don't have a second camera right now. I am actually thoroughly impressed by that, and that's why we work with companies like BougeRV. And if you've been following our channel, we've actually worked with them for basically since the start of our channel. They reached out to us maybe about 6 or 8 months into it for our first product review. And they just been a long time supporter of their channel. They love what we do, and we love what they do because, I mean, a 200 watt panel getting 180 watts in the middle of winter, that's incredible. And let's go back up on the roof because I kind of want to show you the layout that I'm planning. And maybe I'll give you some hints on the product that we're going to be using for our electrical systems inside here. So we have one panel here, one panel there. We have this gigantic storage box. Our plan is we're going to remove this. It's actually just like butyl taped and silicone down. Tells you how strong butyl tape is. So we're going to remove that. And our idea is to do one 200 watt panel here if it fits, and then another one over here. But maybe we'll do the one in the front because then that gives us some walking space. Because, well, you can see, all aluminum roof, we can sit up here, enjoy the views, things like that. But, you know, we want the panels in a good place. Our only issue is we are planning to probably use the BougeRV RV5 system in this truck camper. It's easy, plug and play. Anybody can do it. And honestly, we don't have that much time until we have kind of a trip planned in this thing. Well, I have a trip planned in this thing. So I really need the electrical systems to be up to par. So stepping back in the rig, if you watched our tour, you know there are 2 AGM batteries in here. Not only will we never use AGM, always lithium, but this is literally taking up the bed space. A queen bed is meant to go here. But obviously with this there, it won't fit. So this is going to be removed, AGM battery is removed, and we are thinking of putting the RV5 system in here. It'll fit perfectly fine with space. I'll add some vents on the front for airflow, but we also have complete airflow down there. And this fresh water tank is going to be moved. Plan is to put a fresh water tank here. This is going to be swapped out. This is a tank water heater. We want a tankless or on demand. So we have a plan for that. Something that'll take up a little bit less space. And as far as the furnace, this is going to be removed. So we're going to have all this space behind here open, because if you watched our tour, I'm planning on putting a diesel heater in here. Or, you know, if Rickson wants to get on board, we'll definitely do a Rickson system, because in our Noovo, it is the hands down best system we've ever used for on-demand hot water and heat. And it feeds right off your gas tank or your diesel tank. In this case, we would put a secondary tank just because we don't really want to connect it to the truck since it's a truck camper. And the benefits of a truck camper is you can remove it. So we're thinking in this compartment, diesel heater, it'll be able to exhaust right here and not impact anything or heat anything up or hurt the truck, meaning like literally burning the truck because it gets so hot. So we don't have to worry about that as long as it exhausts out right there. And then it'll just feed a vent in and come out underneath the sink area over there. And then maybe into the bathroom, I'll do another one. And there's a few key points about this BougeRV Arch 200 watt panel that make it perfect for overlanding rigs or truck campers that are really going to get out there in the bush. It has anti-shading technology, which is amazing. As you saw, I was holding it and actually had my hand in the way and it wasn't impacting it at all. And if you've watched any other reviews on YouTube about this, you'll see people have actually like fired rounds at this thing and stuff. It has a double fiberglass layer, so it's really tough. So when you're, you know, going down the trails, things like that, it's not going to get damaged, which is really nice. And it's also super lightweight at literally just under 8 pounds. So this thing is easy to move, easy to install for basically anybody. You can use tape. You can use these pre-drilled holes right here if you want to drill it in, things like that. So it's very easy to mount as well. So like I said, we're planning on, I think, using the BougeRV 5 system in here just for efficiency, ease of install. And I've never installed a full system myself, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about that. If we went that route and did all Victron components, things like that. This just makes it a little bit easier and suits our needs perfectly inside this truck camper. The only issue that we're running into is you have two inputs on the RV5 system. You have a PV1 and a PV2. Both can be used for solar, but the second one is also where you plug in alternator charging. And just at the end of the day, alternator charging is not only faster and honestly just easy because you're always driving, but it puts in more watts. So that's what I mean by faster than compared to a 200 watt panel. And because these panels come in at 36 volts and the BougeRV RV5 system can only take in 50 volts on each PV input, I can only put one in each. So we may end up only doing one panel up on top. We'll see. It's debatable at this point. You guys know us, we're always moving, so really solar is just to keep the fridge topped off, things like that. So I think that's where this panel by Bouge is just gonna really come in handy because it's so efficient. We'll be pulling in almost the 200 watts in the summer. It'll be perfect. And I just wanted to show you while I was yapping, it actually has gone up 2% and it's flat right now. We're putting in 96 watts. So I'm just going to leave it hooked up for the rest of the day and let it charge this thing up a little bit. I won't charge it fully because it's saying 5 hours. But you know, it'll get it up probably about 85%. And I know in the past there's been hate on flexible panels, but clearly they've came a long way. And if you go watch the other videos on YouTube by creators, like I said, people have really put these through the torture test and they've done phenomenal. So these aren't your typical, you know, flexible panels that are just going to fall apart or get hot spots after a few months. These things are truly remarkable. So I want to give a huge shout out to BougeRV for hooking us up, supporting us as always on this truck camper build. They've just been a phenomenal sponsor. And if you are interested in grabbing one of these, I'll have a link in the description as well as down in the comments pinned. And if you go through and you purchase through that link, you're supporting the channel, letting Bouge know that we're doing our job here, helping promote the products. And as you know, we only promote products that we actually believe in, that we use, we test. So we're going to put this through the test over the next few months. And we will share when we do finally install it up on the roof. But like I said, it's kind of pointless to do it now because I need to get that BougeRV RV5 system installed in there so I can actually hook it to something. And let us know down in the comments, do you have any ideas for a fridge that we should install? We have BougeRV 12 volt fridges, you know, dual zones, but they're the ones chest style. We kind of like the traditional house style, you know, door that opens regular in the regular way, if that makes sense. So we're looking at options, we're looking at measurements, but if you have any you recommend, let us know down in the comments because we're taking all ideas for this project. And speaking of ideas, we had mentioned in the tour we want to replace this ugly wood right here with a different laminate or something. And I think I found a really good solution last night and it's actually going to be delivered today. So you'll see that in a video shortly because it's going to look really awesome if it works. So fingers crossed. And if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up and hit the hype button down in the comments because that actually helps smaller creators like us get pushed out on YouTube. And it really works. Our channel is actually starting to explode a little bit. It's all thanks to you guys. You guys are liking it, you're hyping it, you're leaving comments. Those things tell YouTube to push the videos out. So every time you do that, it really helps us. Even if in the comments you just say, hey, or give a wave emoji, whatever, it really helps us out. But until next time, I hope you're out there enjoying life, adventuring, and just pursuing your dreams. Our dreams, you know, are on the road, renovating rigs, just having that kind of fun. So we're doing it, and we hope you are. We'll see you guys in the next one.
About to leave, already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.